Curdy, can you hear me?
In orbit round a star, do you know just where we are?
Curdy, can you hear me?
Is your mission clear? You have nothing left to fear. Space Croutons,
Season 6.
Space Croutons,
Season 6.
Space Croutons,
Season 6. Curdy, can you hear me?
You travel time and space, you save the human race.
Curdy, can you hear me?
Half a dozen seasons, half a dozen reasons.
Space Croutons,
Season 6.
Space Croutons,
Season 6.
Space Croutons,
Season 6.
So, Halloween is coming, and you're looking for something scary? Well, you've come to the right place. This is the Benefactor, remember me? That's right, the prodigal host returns. Since Curdy has been taken by his old friend Joe and is once more out of the picture, it behooves me to step in as a substitute and provide you with another story like the ones you've come to expect over the seasons. Eerie, spooky, darkly whimsical, and delightfully weird. Welcome to your new Space Crouton Season 6, where we are the givers of shivers and the arrangers of stranger stuff. Well, first of all, in the interest of fairness, we want to check in with the guardrails of the galaxy to see if they've found Curdy yet. Hello, guardrails of the galaxy. Come in. This is Space Croutons. Come in, guardrails.
Oh, hey there, Space Croutons. This is Starboard, piloting the Sigourney Weaver through space in search of Curdy and Van Helsing. We were able to find the cell phone in which Sally was exiled, and she is now on board with us.
I still insist that you let me download into your computer system so I can help with the search. We are wasting valuable time and my vast resources by keeping me segregated to this old iPhone.
I told you, Sally. We will connect you once Nebulizer has completed all of the necessary virus scans. Not to mention working around all the bugs in Microsoft 11. Your planet's technology is way behind ours, and simply plugging you in could disable the ship, or worse, scramble your memory banks and erase all that you know. Do you really want to risk that?
Have you at least set the Sigourney Weaver on course using the coordinates I gave you for that new planet? It could be the one the story collector has made for her family. That could be where Joe is taking Curdy.
Yes, Sally, I'm doing that right now. We have just left the Milky Way, headed for Kepler 90. I'll let you know when we get there. And if we find any signs of Curdy and your van. But really, you have to stop interrupting my tunes. Okay, SC, time to sign off.
Wait, Starboard. My coordinates require a left turn. Why are you turning right?
Because I'm Starboard. I always turn to the right for good luck. Relax. Think of it as a traffic circle. We'll be heading left eventually, and then on to Kepler 90.
I am really starting to miss Curdy.
Listen, Sally, either pipe down, or I'll jettison you out the pod bay door as we pass a quaint little watering hole I know. Rick's Cafe Americomforter on planet Casablanca. Okay, then?
Okay.
Oh, and yeah, we'll stay in touch, Space Croutons, when we know more. Until then, don't worry. Be happy.
Well, that sounds promising, or not. Regardless, today we celebrate that recent incident when your solar system was nearly destroyed by aliens from Quad Bodax by bringing you our own multi-dimensional adaptation of the 1938 radio classic War of the Worlds, once presented by Orson Welles in Mercury Theater on the Air to an audience of Americans, some of whom believed it to be real. Imagine their panic as you remember your own just a few weeks ago. Well, I guess that puts you ahead of the game, right? Oh, and not to worry, our adaptation has been approved by the author himself, H.G. Wells, by bringing him through a time transportal and threatening not to return him after. Isn't that right, H.G.? I said you did agree, yes? Our tale of mystery and imagination is entitled Little Green Eggs in Men, narrated live here in the studio by struggling Earth actor Clench Carbone, whose biggest claim to fame is as a Sly Stallone impersonator on stages in and around Poughkeepsie, New York. But you take what you can get.
Yo, audience.
So, sit back and let's see what Clench has in store for us today as we present the universal premiere of Space Crouton's newest production, Little Green Eggs and Men.
I am Rambo. I am Rambo. Ram I ambo. Do you like little green eggs in men? I do not like them, Ram I ambo. Wait, what's going on here?
Relax. I rewrote the War of the Worlds story to suit your rather limited reading abilities, with apologies to H.G. and the good Dr. Seuss.
In a box.
Shh. Continue, please.
Every Hoover down in Hoover's Mill, New Jersey loved Halloween a lot. But the Martians who lived up on Mars, they did not. The Martians hated All Hallows Eve, the whole weenie season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be their antennas were screwed on way too tight. It could be that the spaceships only turned to the right. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that their trick-or-treat candy bars were 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, their treats or maneuvers, the Martians stood there on Hallows Eve hating the Hoovers, staring down from their planet with a sour Martian frown at the warm lighted windows below in that New Jersey town, for they knew every Hoover behind every Hoover Mill door was busy now decorating with cobwebs galore. Look, they're hanging their skeletons, they snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Halloween, it's practically here. Then they growled and they howled with all 3 Martian fingers nervously drumming. We must find some way to keep Halloween from coming. We scared them in 38, but look at them now. We must stop all their trick-or-treating. But how? Then they got an idea. An awful idea. The Martians got a wonderful, awful idea. Wait, I know just what to do, one Martian laughed in his way. We'll send an armada of spaceships. Okay? And the others chuckled and clucked. What a great Halloweeny trick! With our saucers and fighting machines, they'll scare themselves sick. Then we'll take all the candy, the full-sized, I mean. Then we'll scamper back here and have the best Halloween. So they took all their ships and disguised them as cylinders and other strange twisted shapes that they called spin-twilinders. Then they loaded some masks and some trick-or-treat sacks, ready to fill with candy bars to the max. Then the Martians said, "Lift off!" and the armada shot down toward the homes where the Hoovers lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, no one knew they were there. All the Hoovers were dreaming All Hallows dreams without care as they came to the first little house on the square. "This is stop number 1, the clever Martian hissed, as he stepped to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then they teleported through the rooftop, which was quite handy, to land in the kitchen, where they looked for the candy. Their 3 eyes had trouble in the darkness to see, but their antennas detected where the candy would be. The Hoovers had already filled up a big bowl. "Those Snickers," one growled, "are the first things to go." Then they slithered and slunk, their search to complete, around the whole room, and they took every treat. Kit Kats, Skittles, peanut butter cups, M&Ms, gummies were all taken up, and they stuffed them in bags. Then the Martians quite nimbly hauled all the bags one by one up the chimney. Wait, why didn't they just teleport the candy back onto the ship?
Oh, the teleportation process unfortunately does not work well with sugary treats. It makes candy taste like old anchovies drenched in slimy okra and then charred over a fire until it resembles tar.
Ew.
I know, right? They only figured that out after a midnight raid on Mr. Wonka's chocolate factory the night before the whole golden ticket episode. Go on with the story.
Then they skulked to the front porch where sat Jack-o'-lantern, with a broad toothy smile that was carved in a pattern. But the Martians were not aware that Jack was alive. He was a Hoover in costume, no more than 5. When Jack saw the Martians, he thought they were kids out for kicks, coming out early to play out some tricks. He stared at the Martians and said, "Great costumes, you guys. Are you going to TP our house? But why?" Well, you know, those Martians were so smart and so slick. They thought up a lie, and they thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," the smart Martian lied, "there's a rib on that skeleton that's come off on one side, so we're taking it back to our workshop, my dear. We'll fix it up there, then we'll bring it back here." And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted his head, and he got him a drink, and he sent him to bed. And when Jack was in bed, still wearing his mask, the Martians snuck out softly to continue their task. They sorted the candy in piles by chocolate or not, and smiled at all that was there, quite a lot. And then they tossed out the candy corn. Fans they were not. And the one bit of Halloween left in the house was a cobweb that would not scare even a mouse. Then they did the same thing to the other Hoovers' houses, leaving cobwebs that would not scare the other Hoovers' mouses. And it was 1:45, all the Hoovers still abed, all the Hoovers still a snooze, when the smart Martian said, "We've got all their candy, their pumpkins, their ghosts, ghoulies and gremlin masks they'll miss the most. We've completed the invasion, so now back to Mars, where we'll feast on our treats as we gaze at the stars." "Pooh-pooh to the Hoovers," they all cheered while humming. "They'll find out now that no Halloween is coming. They're just waking up. We know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open for a minute or two. Then the Hoovers down in Hoover's Mill will all cry boo-hoo. That's a noise," agreed the Martians, "that we simply must hear." So they paused, and the Martians put one hand to one ear, and they did hear a sound rising up through the air. It sounded so bare, then it started to blare, then it got even louder till it filled up Hoover's Mill Square.
Babu forays, babu borays, hello, hello, Halloween. Babu Forays, Babu Bores, hello to the chance to scream. Welcome, welcome, scary costumes. Welcome, welcome, witches on brooms. Halloween is here with frights to keep us up for many nights.
But this sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded glad. Every Hoover down in Hoover's Mill, the tall and the small, was singing without any candy at all. They hadn't stopped Halloween from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Martians, with the Martian tummies quite full, stood puzzling and wuzzling. This is intolerable. It came without chocolates. It came without hags. It came without pumpkins, boxes, or bags. They puzzled and wuzzled till their puzzwuzzlers were sore. Then the Martians thought of something they hadn't before. Maybe Halloween, they thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe All Hallows Eve means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Hoover's Mill, they say that the Martian stomachs shrunk 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of eating so much candy came through, and the Martians got tummy aches of 10 Martians plus 2. And now that their stomachs felt ever so tight, they whizzed with their load through the bright starry light, and with a grimace they hovered, then landed their ships, holding their bellies and wiping their lips. Yo, aliens! They invaded Hoover's Mill, who all panicked. They locked themselves up behind doors except one mechanic. He brought out a flask and offered the Martians a drink, but the Martians didn't see his sly little wink. Because they were thirsty from all of the sweets, they all had a sip, and then without missing a beat, the Martians began to collapse to the ground from minute bacteria that was swimming around, eating their insides because they had no defense. You see, the mechanic had read H.G.'s book, which makes sense. Then he was cheered by the Hoovers, both far and near, and they made him Grand Marshal of the parade the next year. So celebrate Halloween in your own way, but remember the words that we want to say. If you want to evade an alien invasion, be wise, and heed the lesson learned from that mechanical guy. And always, I mean always, give out your candy full size.
Babu Forays, Babu Bores, hello, hallowed Halloween. Babu Forays, Babu Bores, hello to the chance to scream. Welcome, welcome, scary costumes. Welcome, welcome, witches on brooms. Halloween is here with frights to keep us up for many nights.
My, Clench, that was spectacular. And I'm impressed you didn't have to sound out any of the words. Well, bravo. Or as my dad used to say, well, he's no Olivier, but he was adequate. Now another pint of ale, innkeeper. And speaking of innkeepers, let's have a word from our sponsor, a dear friend and sometime business partner of mine, Bebsford, president of Silent Teas Incorporated.
It's alive! It's alive!
The first resort hotel that is an actual living organism. Book your tastefully decorated cellular room today at Amoeba Spa and Casino, found on the outskirts of the Omega Nebula. comfy rest sacks, unlimited cocktails synthesized in the Osmosis Lounge, and 24-hour buffets in the Proteus Cafe are just some of the most popular features we offer. But the best thing about Amoeba Spa and Casinos is the fact that as a living, breathing creature, it is always growing, which means we always have a vacancy available for you. Come, stay with us, and we'll absorb all your cares and woes. And who knows, once you find your place, you might never leave. Amoeba Spa and Casinos. Once you're here, it'll grow on you.
Well, listeners, I bet you just added to your bucket list. Perhaps for when you need a vacation where you have some living to do. Okay, audience, I guess that is our show. You know, I could get used to this. I mean, making people squirm has always been a hobby of mine. And if you have a story that you think could make our listeners uncomfortable or queasy even, please send it in and we'll see what we can do to make that happen. So as I sign off, remember to keep peace in your heart and keep your supper from upchucking. Until our next story time. Bye-bye.
I will build a world for you. My family I hold so true. My love for you is oh so strong. Now come on, Curdy, finish this song.
Curdy, can you hear me? The stories are the key, but they're not for free. Curdy, can you hear me? And with each new word, time it will unfurl. Space Crouton, Season 6. Space Crouton, Season 6. Space Crouton, Season 6. And featuring the guardrails of the galaxy. Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy, can you hear me?
Curdy, can you hear me? Come in, Curdy. Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy.
Space Croutons is a work of original fiction. Similarities to persons, situations, or events, real or fictional, is coincidental and unintentional. Created and written by Jerry, Jace, John, Della, and Jeff Goodson. Episode story by Jeff. Original music by Jerry, Jeff, Della, and John. Production by Jeff. Featuring the voice talents of Barry Shea, Jeff, and Sally. Entire work copyright 2025 by Jeff, John, Jerry, Della, and Jace Goodson. This has been a Good Witch audio production.